So I remember working in Miami, of course. I came back to Miami to work and I worked in this really in Pinecrest area. Anybody know anything about Florida? Pinecrest, it's a very high end area. Celebs live over there, different things like that. Um, this particular day, I had a friend, a person that I thought was a good friend. And I was actually not really new. I had been in the game for a minute, but she had made a comment to me that had ticked me off so bad. Y'all, I wanted to fight her. She said to me, I wish you would go in a room when you blow dry the black girl's hair because it leaves a very bad smell. And y'all, I was so offended, right? And that stuck with me. That was like at least 10 years ago that this person said this to me. And I was like, when she said it, I went off on her and I told her she can find somewhere else to go, blah, blah, blah. But, you know, it didn't have a smell, but it did have a smell. And although I was offended, I'm one of those women that like to take accountability. And I was like, well, it does smell because you know why? I had that blow dryer on high on her hair, putting it directly to the heat, you know, to the hair, the heat directly to the hair. And then afterwards, I went ahead and I flat ironed it. So when I look around, when I would finish blow drying the hair, I would see that it was smoky. My whole area was smoky. And at that time, I was like, now Lee, you know better than that, you know? And so I wanted to talk about, and I know this is gonna trigger some people, but we have to talk about the elephant in the room. We talk about hair loss. We talk about the reasons for, you know, us doing bad practices, getting different hairstyles to our hair. But one of the things we don't talk about is the smell to it. And you may have a significant other that's like, oh my gosh, it smells bad, because a lot of us, when you get those particular hairstyles, you do not want to wash it because, of course, it's supposed to be temporary, but you don't want to wash it because if you wash it, then that's it for the hairstyle. And the purpose of you getting the quick weaves or the quick weaves or the glue-ins is so that it can last long, at least 1 month, 2 months, which is absurd to me. But since you don't, we want to talk about the solutions to it, but we will also want to address it. And I'm sorry, ask a licensed cosmetologist. We are going to address the elephant in the room all times. We're going to call it out. All right, so let's go ahead and get into it. I wrote down some of my notes. So I know some of you might be like, who she thinks she is? And I know y'all gonna come on here to myself, oh, we do wash our hair. Other people, you do not. A lot of us do not like to wash our hair, but that is not the only reason why we can cause a stench to our hair. All right, and so one of the things we're gonna talk about is product buildup, because not everybody is wearing hair extensions, but a lot of us like to put product in our hair almost every day, especially those of you who believe in the power of the oil. A lot of you think that oil is moisturizing, which is not a moisturizer, it's a polish, you know? It has large molecules, so it's gonna give you a shine, right? It's gonna go on the top of it's gonna coat the top of your hair, but it's not piercing inside unless you put some heat to it. And you definitely don't wanna do that because some of you, can change the structure of your hair by doing that, all right? You can keep it straight. It won't go back to its natural state. So, but if you are one of those people that like, you know, I don't have any moisturizer, so I'm just gonna keep putting this polish on to make it look shiny, that's fine, but it's not being moisturized, right? So you're gonna have overuse of heavy oils, butters, and gels without clarifying and washing your hair. That's going to cause the dirt to be trapped inside your scalp, which could add up to bacteria. And guess what? So it's the dirt plus bacteria equals odor. All right. So you don't necessarily have to have a quick weave for you to have a stench in your hair if you don't wash your hair. And a lot of you, we talk about clarifying shampoo is the first thing that you want to do. Remember, I told you clarifying shampoo is only to get the debris off of the scalp. It's going to open up the scalp and help your hair follicles stay healthy and breathable, right? And then you're going to go in with a moisturizing shampoo. Well, a lot of you guys just use a moisturizing shampoo, or you do the co-wash, which I hate that they brought that out for us, but a lot of you do that as well still. So what I would recommend, when it's product buildup like that, you're putting butter, you're putting edge control, all these different things to your hair, at least 4 to 6 weeks. It says use clarifying shampoo, but I'm gonna tell you, for our hair, if you are putting extensions in your hair, or if you do have a lot of product buildup, you want to go in with your wash. Now, as you can see, my whole look has changed. I wash my hair most likely every week. The longest I would go is a week and 2 days, because my scalp will just say, hey, I need you to do something. So that's just me, and I just need my scalp to feel healthy and clear. And even though your hair gets dirty within 24 hours after you wash it, you should be washing your hair on a normal basis, because that is one of the things that you're doing, right? The next reason is going to be an active lifestyle. A lot of you, I saw the other day, I was watching this video where this girl was showing about how she works out, and she was showing a technique that you can do in order to keep your hair straight, because she had natural hair. It was cute, but I was like, she put a headband on and she worked out and it's sweating, and she took it off and it still had little waves in it. And she was like, but look, it's dry and my hair is still straight. But I said, but what does it smell like, right? So what you're gonna do, you have your workouts or stress, right? Or some of us are dealing with menopause, perimenopause, that you guys are breaking out in sweats. I would tell you, especially from perimenopause, when you start noticing things like that, I would tell you to change your diet. But at the same time, some of you are dealing with those type of sweat that is going, especially at night when you're going to bed. So if you're dealing with sweating in the hair and different things like that, I would advise you to do a gentle wash to go in with it, especially on the strands of your hair. If you can, especially if you smell that. It doesn't necessarily, at that point, if you did that original wash with the clarifying that week, then go in midweek and do a gentle shampoo with that, right? Go ahead and blow dry that hair. Or you can also use witch hazel. I know you guys are like, what? Witch hazel is an astringent, which is cleanses. So you can I always tell people you can take a rag, especially when they have extensions. You could take a rag and saturate it with the witch hazel and just cleanse that scalp. All right, if you don't want to saturate your hair with all that shampoo. So that's another thing that you can do. The next reason, this is reason number 3, that your hair may have a bad smell to it, and that would be wigs, weaves, and extensions. Hair underneath not drying properly. It's going to have a mildew smell, and I know you guys know that, because I have seen clients that have come in and say, hey, I need to be out here at this certain time, and they got a head full of weave in, and I'm like, you got to let that dry. And they're like, it'll air dry. No, because you got braids in there. So all of that, whatever was not cleansed out, because your hair is not 100% clean, whatever is not, it's going to have that mildewy, funky smell, and a lot of you have that. I can imagine if you have a significant other, they're laying in bed and they're like, wow, that smells bad. Glue and synthetic fibers can hold odors. So you guys with the synthetic wigs on that think, woo, let me take this off my head, and woo, let me let my hair breathe. Your hair, when you take that wig off, it smells really, really bad. If you're a smoker, it really, really is horrible. And I'm telling you this in experience where I've had clients that have had to have a hair loss system taken off. And when I take that off, it is so bad. It smelled, I had one client, it smelled like eggs, gas, and cigarettes. It was so bad. So when you have synthetic hair or those wigs that y'all know you think that is like a lifesaver, honey, people are talking about you, all right? Or your significant others, like she cute and everything, but when she put that wig on, you know, she looked good, but I'm telling you, she need to wash the wig, wash her head, wash something, okay? Okay, always dry fully before you install. Make sure your hair, when you're getting the installation, make sure it is dried fully. Or if it's already installed, make sure it is dry. and let the scalp breathe between the hairstyles. So you guys always hear me talk about the fact that you are doing hairstyles and you're wearing it 80% of the time. That's not enough time for your hair to breathe, okay? So just think about all of that. Even though you're sacrificing your hair and you're getting these long hairstyles, which I did do a video showing hairstyles that you can rock that don't require you, it can last long, it can last a week or 2 weeks, and it looks healthy, it looks nice or whatever. So hopefully you guys took heed to that, all right? But that 80% of the time, always wearing hair extensions, believing that you're unattractive without that, that's an internal issue you got to work on, okay? The fourth reason why you would have scalp health issues, that's why you would have a smell as well. Now, from doing the weaves and the product buildup, right? You're going to a hairstylist that's putting wax in your hair, edge tamer, all these different things in your hair. Guess what happens? It's building up and I don't know if I told you that I had a client that had she never had dermatitis or anything like that. Now she's saying she has psoriasis. I had stopped doing hair and she started going to others. She still has beautiful long hair, but she gets all of the extensions and stress, you know, the ponytails, all these different things. She looks cute, but now she has a skin disorder. And I know I did a video on that as well. So dandruff, seborrheic dermatitis, or fungal imbalance can cause strong odors. Very, very strong odors. So what you would want to use is tea tree oil, peppermint oil, or medicated shampoos can help restore the balance. So your pH balance, even on your scalp, if it is off, it's going to leave a stench and a smell. All right. Last, number 5 reason is not drying the hair properly, washing hair at night and sleeping with it wet. I know you guys have done that. I can't do that for some reason. I don't want my pillow to, I feel like my pillow gonna be stink. I'm like a germphobe with stuff. So I guess being in the beauty industry and seeing so much, I'm just one of those people like, no. But going to bed with your hair wet leads to musty, mildew odor. Again, air dry or use a hooded dryer to ensure roots and scalp is dry. So not just that, and I didn't mention that, and I wrote as well down the fact of when you blow dry the hair, a lot of you blow dry the hair real fast and you don't make sure the root is dry, and you know it's not dry when you go back in with a flat iron, because it's flat iron season. When you go back into the flat iron and go, that lets you know that it was still wet. So you need to go back in and blow dry that out. Blow dry it on a medium heat. And the last thing is when they need to use even though you're using a humidity blocker, and also is keeping you from your hair frying. I forgot the word for it. Somebody will write in the comments. Always remember that when you see smoke, that means that your hair is too hot. The flat iron is too hot, okay? Even in your blow dry, that's why I said blow dry it on a medium heat. But if you're seeing smoke, it's too hot. And I'm gonna tell the one last thing. I have seen on TikTok videos, Instagram videos, where they're showing the hairstylists that are flat ironing your hair, and then when they finish, they have blow dried. I've seen on especially the Dominican salons where they blow dry with the roller. They roller set the hair, then they blow, and you sit on the dry, then they blow dry you with the blow dryer, then they come back in with more heat and flat iron. And I have videos on that as well, which is very not good as well. Well, when you see them and they do this and they flowing and it looks flowy, the reason why it's flowy like that, it's thinning out because of that heat, all that heat that was put to it. So it'll look nice and bouncy, but it's actually thinning out. It's actually fried. And then what you'll notice is when you wash the hair, if it doesn't go back curly, that means you have heat damage, right? And when you're doing it over and over again, you have heat damage. And that is something that you don't want if you just wanted a temporary look, but you still wanted to maintain it. So and also with the heat damage, when you seeing them in the video and they moving their hair around, you can't smell all of those products that's in pushed into that hair cuticle, and her hair actually smells baked. Y'all know how it smells. That's why even when you get extensions, I like to wash the extensions before I put them in someone's hair. So imagine if you frying somebody's hair, then you're gonna go put oil on it. It doesn't smell great. Okay, then you put a little bit of hairspray over it or a sheen over it to kind of cover it up. But in a day or two, you will smell your hair smells like it's cooked. All right. So these are some of the reasons that your hair smells really, really bad. I pray that it doesn't trigger some of you. If it does, and you come in these comments, I will come back and I will comment, and I will, unless you're right, I will come back. Don't get triggered, don't get offended or whatnot. If it's not for you and it doesn't apply to you, just keep scrolling. It's okay. All right. These videos are here to help you guys. I pray that this video has blessed you. And guess what, guys? I will see you next video.